Piece is too long. There's no way I can watch 1,000 episodes. I said those exact words 1 year ago. I was just like many of you watching this video. I refused and resented the show just because of the number of episodes. Fast forward to the present day, and I'm a few hundred episodes in. What caused the switch? There are two main reasons. One, I was bored. I just moved to college and I don't like to party, so I had to do something to pass the time. Two, I came to a conclusion. I thought to myself, if this show has so many episodes and this strong of a fan base, it has to at least be decent, right? Turns out it's more than decent. It's amazing. So if you're anything like me 1 year ago and afraid to start One Piece, give me 31 episodes. 31 episodes. And if you still don't like it after that, then go ahead and drop it. What's at 31 episodes? Arlong Park. If you truly haven't seen the show, I'm warning there are only spoilers from this point on. Everyone else, buckle up and let me explain why Arlong Park is where One Piece viewers get hooked in forever. One of the key reasons why Arlong Park is so effective in hooking viewers is the introduction of new characters. At this point in the series, viewers have already been introduced to the core members of the Straw Hat crew and have started to develop an attachment to them. However, the introduction of Arlong and his crew adds a new level of complexity to the story. Arlong is a ruthless and powerful villain who represents a significant threat to the Straw Hat crew. This kind of creates a sense of danger and tension that you may not have experienced in earlier parts of the series, because you can tell that this is the Straw Hat's most formidable villain yet. Another reason why Arlong Park is so effective is the storyline. The arc begins with the news of Nami, who at this point was a recurring character in the show and was kind of still a mystery, but we had all got the feeling that she was a part of the crew, and then all of a sudden she leaves. So why did she leave? Well, it turns out she's actually a former member of Arlong's crew. This is one of the first big plot twists that we see in the series, and that also helps captivate the viewers. So now us as viewers are left to wonder how this happened. What are Nami's motivations for betraying her former crewmates? As the arc progresses, we see Nami's backstory and learn about the trauma she has experienced as a result of Arlong's rule. This is where viewers start to get hooked, because this creates an emotional investment in Nami's story. One Piece is known for its ability to tackle serious and emotional themes in a way that resonates with viewers. This is shown in Arlong Park. At the heart of the arc is the concept of power and the exploration of human morality and justice, both in its raw physical form and its more insidious manifestations. This is because Arlong is a figure of immense physical strength, capable of crushing his enemies with ease. Now, if you remember earlier in the series, our only other villains had been Kuro, Buggy, and Don Krieg, who didn't really have a lot of physical strength. They relied on weapons or devil fruits to attack their enemies. But Arlong, being a fish man, has this insane physical strength, but it also opens up a bit of world building in the series, because this is a new species that's only in the One Piece world. But back to Arlong, his true power lies in his ability to manipulate and exploit those around him. He's a master of manipulation. He uses fear, greed, and deception to maintain his rule. For example, how he took over Kokoyashi village. By putting fear into the people of Kokoyashi, he was able to control them with ease. And part of the reason they got so afraid of him is because of Bellemere. Arlong used Bellemere as an example of what would happen to everybody else if they betrayed him. This shows the amount of power in the show and raises important questions about the nature of power and its impact on individuals of society. As I said, this is exactly what we see in Kokoyashi. The arc also digs into the issue of oppression. Arlong's rule over the island represents a form of racial oppression, where the villagers are subjugated and forced to live in poverty. Nami's backstory further highlights the psychological impact that this oppression has on a human, because she is forced to endure years of abuse and trauma under Arlong's rule, and this is where the arc makes you question justice and just look at the unethical deeds that he's doing. Ultimately, Arlong Park serves as an example of the human experience in the struggle for freedom and justice. The arc forces viewers to confront the harsh realities of the world around them and inspires them to seek a more just and equal society. However, the people of Kokoyashi had all lost hope until a kid with a straw hat showed up. Arlong Park is not simply a moment of entertainment in the One Piece series, but rather a deep and thought-provoking concept, because it portrays power and oppression and forces its viewers to engage with fundamental questions about human nature, and in my opinion, inspires them to think about their place in the world. At the center point of Arlong Park is the complex relationship between Nami and Arlong, which serves as a powerful metaphor for the dynamic between the oppressor and the oppressed. Arlong being the oppressor, Nami the oppressed. So as we go through Nami's backstory, it reveals that she was forced to work for Arlong and his crew, stealing treasure in order to pay off a debt, and that's a debt that, quite frankly, she doesn't even owe. She's trying to free her village that was free in the first place. This is an example of economic exploitation. Now those are some big words, so what do they mean? Economic exploitation is when the person that's oppressed, so in this case Nami, are forced to work in order to pay off a debt that is designed to keep them enslaved. So Nami's 100 million buried debt. That debt is so high that it's designed for her to never reach that goal. So that makes Nami's and Arlong's relationship pretty intricate, because she's not only physically oppressed, but she's also being manipulated psychologically. She thinks that there's a way to free her village, when in reality there never was from the start. Arlong knows that Nami has talent and is intelligent, and he uses this to his advantage. How exactly does he use it to his advantage? Well, he plays mind games with her and forces her to hide her emotions. This just shows the dark nature of Arlong. Despite being enslaved, Nami's strength shines through because at the end she's able to outsmart Arlong. This is still to this day one of Nami's most important moments in the series, because she's able to break through a major block in her life. This was most of her childhood and young teenage years. So Arlong Park inspires viewers once they see the village get freed from the chaos. And that shows Nami and Arlong's relationship has some powerful themes behind it. And by presenting these themes in a way that gets viewers emotionally involved, One Piece is able to create a powerful connection with its viewers and therefore get them to be hooked in for the rest of the series. Some of you may not have realized just how deep the Arlong Park iceberg is, and to be honest, we may not have even touched half of the iceberg. However, I hope I did a good enough job explaining why the Arlong arc is so amazing, because I truly do believe that is where most people get hooked in their first watch through of the series. A lot of you might think that you missed all of the underlying details I just went over, but you didn't. Your brain definitely recognized them, they just didn't quite click. You were just unable to put them into words like this. That arc wouldn't be so interesting if you managed to miss all of the details. My next video will be a review of episodes 101 through 200, so if you're new here, subscribe. It'll help me out and it means a lot.